Road is empty, let's go. This time it's part 2 of our tour of Holland. If you can remember from last time, we're now making our way towards Amsterdam itself. We're going to spend a couple of days there and see the sights and the delights of Amsterdam. Left hand turn at 1.8 miles, concur? Yeah, cool. Go left at this junction, Sherpa. Yes. I just think of golden balls every time I come to Holland. I don't know why. A little mouse with clogs on, well I declare, cool. Little, because we're in Holland. Oh no, a little mouse with clogs on. Can't remember that song when you were a kid. What kind of childhood did you have? Let's go left. Let's go left, let it work it out for itself. Don't mind me. Amsterdam! Oh. You alright, Tom? Oh. Did that just change? Oh my god, I'll have to... I can't react that quick. The journey to Amsterdam's fairly short, just about an hour or so. Although it did take a bit longer because of heavy traffic as we got nearer to the town. Unfortunately, we hit the local rush hour. We also had to use some areas of motorway. The motorways do really seem to get congested in Holland, but if you get off them, it's much, much better. But it didn't take us long to find our cheap and cheerful hotel and settle down for the evening. Adventuring to be done tomorrow. Now, as much as I love my bike, I wouldn't recommend riding from any major cities on it. It just isn't fun. So generally what we'll do is when we get to somewhere, we'll find a way of using public transport. In this case, it's easier to get the local shuttle bus to the airport and then catch the train from there. It's a very nice train station that drops you right into the middle of Amsterdam. And right from the get-go, the first thing that hits you is the creepy number of bicycles there are everywhere. I mean, there's millions of the things. It's like a bicycle apocalypse. You're just waiting for them to rise up and strike us all down. Now, Amsterdam is often referred to as the Venice of the North, but then people in Birmingham say that for some reason as well. Fact is, Venice is pretty unique, but there are an awful lot of canals in Amsterdam, so it's well worth taking a boat trip to check them out, and that's exactly what we did. Now, I'm not going to recommend a particular boat service here because there are lots of operators, and they're all pretty similar, and they're all fairly similar price too. It's not an expensive thing to do, and it's very relaxing, and it's a good way to see the initial sights. Now, as always, if you're flush with cash, there are more expensive, more bespoke options on this. The more expensive ones will always offer catering, and sometimes you can get small individual boats if you just want yourself and your family. But if you don't mind snuggling in with other people, then the bigger boats are just as good, and the routes are pretty much the same no matter where you go. Most of the boats will offer audio guides. Now, it can be a headset, or it can simply be a recording of a voice which plays in about 3 different languages as we cruise along.
Rivieren die uitkwam op de zee. We are now sailing the Amstel River. In the past, the Amstel was one of the rivers that used to flow out into the sea.
Now, with the boat trip drawing to a close, I was starting to get a bit peckish. Tea, waffle and pancakes. Perfect Dutch meal. Good.
Really good.
Really, really good. Well, belly's full, we felt the need to walk it off. So we made our way steadily over to the old harbour. This has got some lovely old sailing ships, which is nice, but of course there are some more modern attractions as well. There's a science museum which is very much child orientated, so it's not unlike the think tank which is in Birmingham over in the UK. There are a couple of other museums very similar to it in Britain, and I'm sure that other countries have them too. Tom had a look around this, but we decided to explore the roof. There's fountains and stuff. Now Amsterdam of course stands on what is predominantly reclaimed, drained land, but it has left one island which is just not quite connected to the rest. You can get there via the underground tube station, but there's no direct road or bridge. But there is a free ferry. Do love a free ferry. This only takes about 5 minutes, probably less, and is, as you can see, extremely popular. Mayonnaise with chips, so young, so wrong, and it's so right, isn't it? Yummy yum. It's like a big ice cream, doesn't it? Yeah, you can walk across the line. The island has a few modern buildings and a few attractions, but in general it's very quiet compared to Amsterdam in the main, so it's a nice place to get away from it all. Now I don't normally drink, but Deb did persuade me to have a small beer while I was here. I would pay for this later, of course. Dutch apple pie. Turned into a bit of a gastronomic journey, this. Go on, you don't look like a stoner.
Please, trying to be nice.
After a relaxing couple of hours, we decided it was best to get back on the ferry and find our way back into the main town again. Amstel beer is famously made on the river there, so there are a few beer-themed boats, not surprisingly. Deb's a bit of an art fan, so of course we had to visit the Rembrandt house. Now Rembrandt didn't live here his entire life. It was an expensive house, and after a few years he fell short of funds and had to give it up. When you think of the prices that Rembrandt's paintings go for these days, this is somewhat ironic, isn't it? In his time, Rembrandt wasn't just a painter, he was also an art dealer, and that's how he tended to cover a lot of his costs. In keeping with this, the house walls are covered with lots of paintings by a variety of artists, most of which aren't actually Rembrandt's. And this is just how Rembrandt would have set them out in his time. He would have used his house as a sort of sales room. In what would have been Rembrandt's personal paint room, there's an artist who does demonstrations showing how the paints were made and mixed, and also how they were applied, back in Rembrandt's day.
Is there anyone who wants to help me with rubbing the paints? Don't be shy, it's fun, it's easy. Come. Are you right-handed? Yes. You can put your right hand first on the stone and then the left hand around it. Yes, very good. Yeah. And then you can put a little bit of pressure and make an H shape. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Nice. And now it's time for the moment of truth. You can test your paint, so feel free to make his paints.
On the next floor are the small studios where he trained his students, and of course this is another major way that he funded his own artwork. Right, time to explore, I think. I just don't think they're your size, you know. Yes.
awesome, man.
I don't like
Really nice.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed that video. Look out for part 3 where we're heading north and into somewhere a bit more rural. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and of course, thank you very much for watching.